How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we have another community questions video, and this one should be quite interesting. The last community video that I did, you guys absolutely loved it. It did so well. I was absolutely shocked, and I'm so glad that you did enjoy it. But this one today, I sent out a question on my YouTube community post, and you guys, holy hell, have you guys got involved in this one. It's been up 20 hours, and honestly, you've voted 477 different people, and we've also had, I believe, 41 comments. That's absolutely crazy. You guys seem to be loving this, and I'm so glad. So basically, the question that I asked was, what has made you quit or take a break from RuneScape in the past? Answers excluding EOC will be preferred, but if it was only EOC, then maybe explain why. Comments may be used in a future video, so all names that look like real names will be blurred unless stated not to. As always, I just prefer to blur your names if it does seem like your real name, just to make it a lot easier for me to edit and not have to sort of filter through and wonder, I wonder if this person wants to, I wonder if this person doesn't. But let's jump into the comments. Let's have a look at what actually makes RuneScape players quit this game, or, you know, not quit, but take a long break, because no one ever really quits RuneScape, do they? So let's have a look. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, and also do subscribe if you are new. But I'm going to shut up with the intro now, and let's get into this first comment, shall we? Alright, so our first comment says, you never quit, you just have unknown lengths of breaks. So this is what I was saying literally just before. There's a saying that goes around, and everyone's probably heard this. Most of you guys watching have probably heard this. And it's basically, you never quit RuneScape, you just take a break. Now, this is actually so true for myself, and I know it is for a lot of you guys as well, because let's be honest, a lot of you have probably quit RuneScape at some point, and then you sort of think like, yeah, it was an alright game, wasn't too bad, and then the itch comes back, and you think about it, and you just think, yeah, I'll download it just for one day, and you download it, and you jump on, you think, I'm going to play just for a couple of hours, see what's changed, see if there's anything new, and then suddenly you're in 2021, and you've been playing for like another 4 years, and you started doing YouTube on it as well. Oh wait, that's actually me. So honestly, this is actually what happens to people. Except maybe the YouTube bit, people just download the game again, they try it out, and suddenly they're just there playing again for a couple of more years, and then something will get them wound up a little bit again, or they get burnt out again and they quit again. But that's usually what happens with RuneScape, and a lot of people will basically tell you the same. Comment down below, have you had multiple breaks from this game but you're still playing today? I'm very interested to see how many of you guys actually have. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be most of you. Our next comment comes from one of my channel members saying, like I mentioned before in a different comment, it's difficult to get started without clear directions of where to go or what to do. Once you are clueless about what to do, people tend to quit. I myself have issues finding the right things to do with, for example, dungeoneering and bossing. So this is such a good point, and I'm so glad you brought it up again. I think you did mention it in a previous video that I did as well, but also, this is like, This is something that really needs work for new players, because I've had quite a few people join the game, and I've said this before, they join the game, they get through the tutorial, they do all the little beginning bits where it's guiding you around, telling you do this, do this, do this, but then as soon as that stops and RuneScape lets go of your hand, they're gone. They're just gone. That's it. It's like, yep, don't know what I'm doing, don't know why I'm doing it, don't know what direction I should be going in, I don't know what I'm working towards. Like, am I just going to go fishing for 50 hours and not really know why I'm doing it? I think it's very, very important to know why people are doing stuff, and also have some sort of guidance. Like, it's really, really good that RuneScape does let go of your hand and does let you do your own sort of thing. Like, it's really, really good that it doesn't send everybody on the exact same adventure, and that's absolutely amazing. But I think early on, it wouldn't be such a bad thing, just so people know, like, you know, the quests are worth doing, this is worth doing, and I'm doing it because of this. I feel like if people knew why they were doing stuff, and they knew, like, an idea of the sort of things that they should be doing and what they're working towards, then people will probably stick around a lot more, because, yeah, spending hours and hours not knowing why you're doing something or what you're doing literally just makes you think, I'm wasting my time, frick it, I'm gonna quit. Now, a lot of YouTubers have done stuff like beginner guides, all that sort of stuff, making things on what a new account should do, and honestly, these videos are really, really helpful, but the only problem is, it shouldn't be down to YouTubers to do this. It shouldn't be down to, like, YouTube content creators to actually tell all the new players on what they should be doing in the game to try and keep them in the game. JGX need to put something in there at the beginning of the game to help people be guided, and to also stay engaged and know that the time they're investing is actually going somewhere. If anyone has any ideas of what sort of things could be done for this, leave a comment below, because this is a massive point in my opinion. I think this is something that's really, really important to talk about. The next comment says, I found myself taking a break, or at least not playing as much after combat week ended. Trying out new bosses with no penalty is really fun, but when it goes away, it feels much more punishing. Plus free elder overloads when I can't make them myself yet makes me much more powerful. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So I genuinely feel like Combat Week should be a lot more common of a thing. I feel like it should be here maybe every few months, maybe every 2 months, maybe something like that. I feel like that could be pretty cool to see. Maybe even if they just make it a weekend, so like maybe once a month for 2 days on the weekend, it was Combat Weekend, and we could try out any bosses we want without penalty. I'm sure most of you guys watching were probably taking part in the Combat Week, where you got free elder overloads from the golems, and you also could just go into a boss, and if you died, it didn't actually matter. Your Ring of Death didn't lose charge. You basically just had to rebank and jump back in. Now, of course, we have practice mode in the game, so when you say trying out new bosses with no penalty was really fun, you can still do that. You can still jump into boss fights, you can still try out all these bosses in practice mode, but you don't have that chance of getting the loot. And I know that that's kind of probably what you're talking about, being able to jump in, knowing that if you get the kill, you could actually get a drop, you could actually make a bit of money while you do it. Whereas in practice mode, you kind of just, you don't get any drops whatsoever. You're just going in to practice, and if you do get the kill, then you just teleport out, don't get any loot, and it's not as fun. But honestly, if you are wanting to get into bossing, practice mode is an amazing way to do it. Currently in game, I'm trying to get better at different rotations at Telos than I'm used to, and I'm trying to push in Rage as well, and I'm using practice mode to do that. I'm using practice mode over and over again, just to try and get used to my rotations, because if I don't do it on practice mode, I'm going to lose so much money. So honestly, dude, if you are looking to get into new bosses, try out the practice mode. It will definitely help you out with that sort of situation. But I completely understand that not being able to get the loot at the end of it does kind of take away from the fun of it. But eventually you'll be able to do it, and eventually you'll be able to get your drop as well. As for the free elder overloads, use that as a way to drive yourself to get into it, because yes, they make you feel way more powerful, and you should definitely use that as a reason to sort of push yourself and use it as a bit of drive to unlock them, because they're so good and you will want them eventually. But if anyone from JGX happens to be watching at all, somehow, probably not, Combat Week, come on, we all want more Combat Weeks. I think it would be really, really cool, even if it was a Combat Weekend. The next comment says, usually reaching a big milestone, Questcape, Matchscape, drop log, will end in me taking a break for a while. It's always been very helpful to me though, because I find that I come back playing better than you ever have. Some mechanics seem to just sink in over time. Okay, so there's a few points in this that I absolutely love. So the first one is reaching the big milestone. Now, this happened to me. I got my max cape. I spent like 2 years trying to get max cape, and every time I felt burnt out, I just thought, I'm so close, I'm just going to do it, I'm going to get my max cape, and then I'm going to just do bosses, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. So what did I do? I got through, I got my max cape, it took me absolutely ages. I walked through those doors to the max guild, I logged off, and I didn't come back for about 6 months. Now, why is that? What is this? Is that a thing? Does this happen to more people than just me? Yes, I made a video on this actually ages ago, when my videos were absolutely the worst quality sounding things you could ever imagine. But I made a video talking about people quitting once they reach max cape. Now, once you set yourself a really big goal and it takes a long time to do it, if you achieve that big goal and you haven't set anything else ready for afterwards, you are going to just probably take a break, because one, every achievement in this game, and I promise you this, every achievement in this game doesn't feel as good as you imagine it to. It's always sort of like a bit of a disappointment, I suppose. So you get the max cape and you're thinking, yes, holy hell, I'm maxed, I've got 99 in every single skill, I can get in the max guild. You walk through those doors and it's just a grand exchange and a boss portal that you don't even need now, especially. And you just sort of think, yeah, well, that's done. It feels a bit of a disappointment, not in a like really bad way, like it's still cool that you've done it, but you just sort of think, yeah, what now? Do I want to know the grind? The whole thing of working towards something to get that feeling of being like, yes, I've done it. You sort of in the moment, you're thinking, it's just going to be exactly the same. I could set a goal to finish every single boss log, and it's going to just feel exactly the same once I'm done. I'm going to be done with it. I'm going to enjoy the road to it, but as soon as I'm done, I'm just going to feel fed up. So you end up taking a bit of a break with that, and honestly, a lot of people do this as well. Let me know in the comments. Once you maxed, or once you got a big sort of milestone like that, did you take a break as well? I'm very interested to see how accurate I am, that a lot of people definitely do this. As for some mechanics seem to just sink in over time, I can 100% agree with you. It's so weird. So when I quit as well, I was actually trying to learn Telos, and I was learning Telos. I was really bad. Holy hell was I bad. I must have lost hundreds of mil practicing this boss, just basically feeding onyxes to him. Like, here you go, Telos, you just have some of these, have another one. Go on, you still hungry? Have another one, dude. Not a problem. I was basically throwing black rocks at this guy, and I don't know why I didn't use practice mode. Guys, if you're learning anything, just use practice mode. Like I said just before, holy hell, just do it. But I stopped playing because I got stressed out. Life got a little bit busy as well. So I left the game and came back, and I started learning that it just seemed easy. And up until a certain rage, I think it was like 300%, I could just do it. It was easy enough. I was like, okay, fair enough, this makes sense. And I don't know why I was struggling with this before. I guess I was just not really paying attention, throwing myself at a brick wall. It wasn't really helping. And then once I quit, in my head, I probably sort of figured out like, yeah, with this, you just need to do this, and then this, then this, and then suddenly it seemed to work. So there's a tip for some of you guys. If you're struggling at a boss, maybe take a break for a little bit, a couple of days maybe, just let yourself sort of subconsciously think about what's going on in the boss fight, and you never know, you may go back and be even better at it. Our next comment says, my IRL friends stopped playing and caused me to lose interest in the game. A year ago, one of those friends started playing again, and I rejoined as well. So this is something that's actually happened to me a few times while I've been on and off from playing RuneScape in the past, and in all honesty, it kind of goes a slightly different way for me, and I know exactly where you're coming from though. So I used to play this with maybe 4 friends, all of us that went to the same school, and we used to sort of head home, all jump on at the same time and play together. Now, when they stopped playing, there was a time where I sort of stopped as well. I was just like, I'd log on, there'd be no one online, and they all sort of lost interest in it, or they just didn't really enjoy the grind, I suppose. And it did make me stop for maybe like a day or two, but I was always that friend that was trying to get people back into RuneScape. I always played it on and off. I always was playing it when my friends weren't, and I was that person that would always sort of say like, just try it again, just play again. Come on, let's just jump on, we'll do this, it'll be fun, get your levels up, get back into it, you'll be good to go. Now, they would join again, and they would probably play for about a couple of months, and then they would leave again. And honestly, the more times I did this, it actually kind of got worse and worse, because I actually just wanted to play with people. So I was like, man, I'm literally just doing everything by myself in game. And then that kind of just eventually led to me leaving as well, just like what you've said, where you said that your friends lost interest in the game, and then you did as well. Now, when I returned, I actually joined a clan and got involved with playing with people that weren't IRL friends, and the same thing happened. They all quit. I logged on, and the clan was pretty much gone, and everyone was offline, and suddenly it was all the same sort of thing. I don't know if it was around the school year coming in and people were quitting to do all their exams or something like that, but everyone was gone, and I was like, well, I guess that's me. I guess I am on my own again. And of course, what did I do? I took a very long break, came back, and this was like just before EOC. So yeah, definitely your IRL friends playing and the friends that you like to play with all stopping is definitely something that will impact how you play the game, whether you want to keep playing or not. It's definitely going to be something that affects that. Our next comment is from Hunter Sam. You guys have probably seen him around in the Discord. He's one of my mods as well. He said, for me, it's the time sink. DailyScape, for instance, means that to play close to optimally, you can sit and spend an hour before actually having fun with the game. If you don't do it, you're clearly missing out on something. Even without that, it's hard to play games for less than 1 hour at a time, and RuneScape basically operates in chunks of an hour or more, basing it on auras. Now, this is actually such a good comment, and I read this before checking who actually commented it, and I was thinking, hell, this is a good comment, and it turns out it's Sam, so that's pretty awesome. So anyway, I think probably a lot of you guys who watch me quite consistently will know that I do not bother with dailies and that sort of stuff. I just don't do it. It just really annoys me, and for the exact same reason that you've just said. The fact that if you do all your dailies, you have to spend an hour, maybe even longer, depending on what you're doing, to actually be able to just then sit down and play the game that you want. Now, personally, in the past, I only had like an hour, maybe an hour or two at the most to actually play the game, so I didn't want to log on, do an hour of dailies, and then by the time I'm done, only have like 40 minutes, 50 minutes or something left to go and do bosses. And like you said, an aura is an hour long, so it kind of makes you feel like it's a bit of a waste, or it's kind of pointless. And it kind of just made me feel like it just wasn't worth doing, it wasn't fun. So I changed the way I played the game, and I basically said I'm not doing dailies, I'm not doing anything that I don't find enjoyable or fun, and anything that I look at and think I'm not going to enjoy that, it's probably worth doing, but I'm not going to enjoy that, I just don't really do it. I don't touch it until I get to a point where I'm like, yeah, no, I need to do it, I need to get it done, I need to get that unlock done so I can do this boss that I'm enjoying doing. That's the only time I'll do something. If it's something like, for example, Shattered Worlds, When Shattered Worlds came out, I went, nope, not doing it. It's a mini game, don't get anything from it. It doesn't seem fun, I'm not going to bother. But then I was learning Telos, Bladed Dive came in handy like a absolute ton. Everyone was saying the Bladed Dive is really useful. So I unlocked Bladed Dive, and I only did it before Telos for the content that I was really enjoying doing. So that's a good way to look at it, in my opinion. If you level up slower, if you are going towards max and you don't get max as quick, just consider the fact that you can get max and enjoy it, or you can get max and kind of hate yourself the way you've done it. So just consider the options and weigh them up, what's better for you. Spend longer and just enjoy it and only do stuff that you know is fun, or spend less time and get there quicker, and maybe some days not actually get to play the stuff that you want to be able to play. Now, the next bit for saying that the game is basically operates in chunks of 1 hour or more, you're absolutely right. When you log on, if you're going to do a boss, you want to commit to a full hour, because you got your aura, you extend it to an hour depending on which aura it is, and that's it. You're pretty much committed for that full hour. Otherwise, you've wasted the extend, you've wasted the time, and the boss instances as well, they're all an hour long. So definitely, I completely agree. When you commit to doing a boss, it's always usually a full hour commitment. So this is definitely something that when people don't really have all that time to sit and play, it's something that may put them off a little bit, but I don't really think there's anything that they can do about that unless they let us use auras toggleable like scrimshaws. That'd be kind of cool. Or when we log out, just stop the aura time from going down. That way we can log out, go and have our dinner, do the dishes, whatever we have to do as as working people, then come back and sit down and do the next 20 minutes and kill the next 20 minutes of a boss and log off, go to bed, get up in the morning and just carry on. Like that sort of thing would be kind of cool. What do you guys think? In the comments down below, let me know, because I'm very interested. Would that be something that you think would work, or is there something that could maybe be abused with that? Do comment on this one, because I'm very interested to see your opinions, because this is actually kind of interesting to me. Alright, so we're going to make this our final comment, and you say, I quit so many times. I told myself when I first started playing the game, I quit when my membership expires. Years later, I said I quit when I get all my accounts combat skills to 80 and done at least one God Wars dungeon boss. Years later, said after EOC, I'm officially done with RuneScape. Years later, told myself I quit after my first 99. Now, in 2021, I have 6 99s after a 3-year break, and still playing until I get my tier 92 gear and beat all the bosses at least once. Then I'm going to quit for good. Right, so, whoever commented this, obviously I've took your name off because it's your real name. Come back and let me know in like a year or two, because I guarantee you're going to still be playing. You're going to beat all the bosses at least once, but I bet you're still playing. I bet you're still around in the game. You sound like you're not going anywhere, dude. In all honesty, you sound like you are stuck in this game. This is your game, and I will probably see you around in the distant future. But this is something that happens to quite a lot of people. They'll set goals and say, right, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to be done with the game. It's fine. I'll just quit at this point. And then, like I say, you never really quit RuneScape. You'll always end up back at some point. You just take a long break, or multiple breaks even, and everyone just sort of seems to end up back in the game at some point, because it just seems to scratch an itch that no other MMO can actually do. Personally, I've played a hell of a lot of MMOs, and none of them really have given me that sort of same feeling as RuneScape has. Alright, so that is going to be the end of the video. That was the last comment that we had. Again, thank you guys so much for getting involved in these. It is so awesome to do these videos. I love doing it. Now, some of them might not do as well as the last one did. This one may not do as the last one did, but hell, I enjoy doing it. It gets you guys involved in my videos as well, and it brings the community to like a big section to share all of your thoughts and stuff on a question that I've put together. And honestly, it's really cool to see, and I'm glad that you guys can get a little bit of involvement in my videos as well. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like on it. Do subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll be doing more of these. I just need to think of questions. So if you have any questions that you think would be cool for this, then leave them in the comments below, and I will definitely take note of all of them, and I will use them in the future. You'll help me out a hell of a lot, because it saves me stressing about ideas and stuff, and 2, then hell, if I pick your idea, I will give you credit in the video. I'll say this is a question from this person, and I will thank you very much. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye. I just wanted to say an absolute huge thank you to my current channel members. We have so many now. I'm probably not going to be able to get all these names in here, but we're going to try. We've got Andy V, Sam, Maka, Chax, It's OP Harambe, Kezlocker, Amber, Joey Vibes, Steven, and Tofu the Warrior. Thank you all so much, I really appreciate it. I honestly can't thank you enough. Anyway, this is probably the last time that I will have all the names listed. I'll probably have to put them all on screen at some point for this now, because if there gets any more, I am not going to be able to fit this in the end of the video. But I'll have all your names on screen. I'll try and do something cool with it. Hope you're all okay with that. If anyone else is interested in joining the channel members, then click that join button, buy the sub button, and see what perks you can get while you do support the channel.